The problem is not that you do not have the drive nor the motivation. It's that you don't have the mental capacity to fit any more in here than you have to. Hello and welcome to another vlog on YouTube and podcast on Spotify by the Fit Minds podcast. Coach Mariah Jean here. Today I am cooking again. Yes, I'm cooking Mexican for my family. Hopefully I don't burn anything because I really struggle with multitasking. But I like cooking on podcasts because it keeps your attention for those watching on YouTube. And for those at home, you just get some ASMR. Now, today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to wash my hands again. See, that ASMR, we've got it going on. We're going to be talking about why mums need more accountability, not more motivation. And in fact, why mums need more accountability than most people, right? Maybe I should make that the podcast topic. Need more accountability than most people. Either one. You guys are not lacking motivation, you're not lacking drive, you're not lacking, some sort of driven mindset that you think that we all have. You are lacking accountability. Now, I'll talk about why accountability for mums is so important. I'm gonna wipe these, I've been triggered. I'm wiping these sticky prints off my dishwasher because my daughter puts her sticky prints all over the shop. But why mums need more accountability than the average person. So I'm going to change burners because that's not going to work if it's too far away from the camera. Whoopsie, that's the wrong burner. This is a wild ride. Welcome to the show. Okay, we're on. Right. Mums need more accountability because we have, as mothers, limited brain capacity, okay? Mental capacity. We talk about the mental load and motivation. Why the mental load, it actually causes motivation to drop, okay? So as busy women who think constantly about every single possible thing under the sun, like, what time is that appointment, and is so-and-so happy, and maybe I should reach out to so-and-so, and I wonder how she's doing, and, all that type of jazz. Also, I need to drink 3 liters of water, I need to exercise today, I need to get my steps in, I've got to send off that letter, I've got to email that person, I've got to do meal prep, and it's like, we already have enough shit in our heads, as it is, and then we introduce kids, yeah? / kid for me, one kid, right? We introduce kids and then we basically add more to the mental load, more to the bucket that seems like it is constantly pouring over, right? And so we're overflowing with shit that we don't want to have to think about, but just pops into our head all the time. What am I going to make for dinner? What are the kids going to have for dinner? What am I going to have for dinner? What does my husband want for dinner? What am I going to make that everybody wants to eat? How do I keep everybody happy? And this is the problem. This is the problem, right? The problem is not that mothers are not motivated and driven enough to do this themselves, to figure out what the fuck they need to eat to lose weight. That is not the problem, right? The problem is not that you do not have the drive nor the motivation. It's that you don't have the mental capacity to fit any more in here than you have to. I always use this analogy in calls when I'm looking at new clients and onboarding them in their applications. And I say to them, you pay someone to service your car, don't you? Could you not think of anything worse than servicing your own fucking car? No, we pay someone to do that. That's someone else's problem, not mine. I'm going to get you to do that, Mr. Service Car Man. That's not even a word. It's mechanic. But I'm going to get you to service my car because I do not have the mental capacity to go and learn how to service my car, right? Same shit goes for you. You do not have the mental capacity, nor should you have to figure out your own nutrition, especially when it needs to be calculated, and understanding things like the right portions and the exact right foods to lose weight, right? Now, you could just say to yourself, oh, but I'll just stop eating junk, I'll just stop eating shit because, I know that's what's made me gain weight is I've been eating all this shit. You don't understand the things that you need to put into place to make sure that you prevent that from happening. You don't understand, because if you did understand, you'd be doing it by now. I don't expect you to understand because no one's ever taught you, right? And if they have, if you do know, right, maybe it's not the fact that you don't know, if that's not the reason why you're struggling. Maybe it's because you don't have anyone to keep you accountable. You don't have anyone to answer to. You don't have anyone who is looking after you while you are looking after other people, right? And we think that as mothers, well, hold on, because I can look after everybody else. I'm so strong. I'm so capable. Yes, you are. You're independent when no one's taken that away from you. But we think because we look after other people that all of a sudden we should just be able to click our fingers and get our shit together and look after ourselves. Moral of the story is, if that was possible, we would have done it a long time ago. Mothers struggle more with this because they have added more to their mental load than what there was previously, and it was already hard enough pre-children. Now you've added more. Something has to give. You have to take something off your plate. You cannot keep adding things to your schedule, adding things to your mental load, adding things to your to-do list, adding things to what have I got to think about. You now have whole human beings you're trying to manage here and keep alive, right? So if you're trying to keep other people alive, who is trying to keep you alive? Now that your mental capacity and your time has been taken up somewhere else. And the most common thing I hear on calls, two things. It's these two things, right? Number one, I don't know what I need to be eating for my goals. I've got no fucking clue, right? That's why I need coaching, because I need to know, right? I don't know. I need to know. I need to learn and to figure this out, and I don't have the time to go and properly research it and even know who to listen to, because Google is massive and it tells you all sorts of things and it's not true, not all of it. And the second thing is, I know what I need to do. I just need someone to hold me accountable. I just need accountability. I need someone to literally be looking at my photos, my measurements, my weigh-ins, so I don't get inside my own head. Someone who can write the plan for me so I don't have to write it. I just need someone to give me the meal plan so I can follow it, right? And the structure. I don't want to have to think, right? I don't want to have to think about what I'm going to eat. I don't want to have to go, who hates that decision fatigue that comes with motherhood as it is? All of these different decisions that we have to make on behalf of other people. And then we've got to somehow lump ourselves into that as well. We've got to somehow decide what we're eating and what we need to have. And it's a lot. It's exhausting. So you don't need more motivation as a mother. You don't need more motivation. You need more accountability and support. And you need more than the average person. You need more than a man. Right? The amount of accountability and support that you need versus a single man is like tenfold. Why? That man doesn't have a fucking care in his world. He doesn't get a menstrual cycle, okay? He doesn't have kids. He's got nothing. He's got no responsibilities other than to get up for his alarm for work for the day. And even that sometimes he doesn't do, all right? So you cannot expect yourself to have this same level of, I'm getting there with my words, you cannot expect to have this same level of discipline and motivation that you see these fucking Fitspos online having, because they don't have the same lifestyle factors as you do. They don't have that mental load. And they have a different life to you. Their whole life is completely different. What is coming at them is completely different. So if you are lumping more and more and more and more and more and more and more on your plate, and I said this to a mum the other day, I was on a call with her and I said, she's like, I just don't know why. I'm in my 40s and I just don't know why. I said, because you have continuously committed yourself to more. You've given in more. You've said yes more to everybody else except yourself. You've piled more on your plate, more work, more this, more financial commitments. You name it, everything, right? It's just all on you. And you haven't taken anything out. You haven't then gone, we're running out of gas. You haven't then gone, you know what? I need help. I need support. There has to be a point which eventually, I say this is a point in your life where you've taken on all these things, where you've got to hire staff, like in a business, like in a company, where like, okay, something has to change, because if it doesn't change, changing burners again, if it doesn't change, right, if you don't outsource, if you don't have someone invested in you while you're invested in literally everybody fucking else. If you don't have that, the likelihood of you following through with it is quite low because of the mental load, because of all of the things that are piled on your plate sky high, because of course you're going to go off to the side. Of course you're going to push yourself away and palm yourself off because you're the easiest thing to take out of the equation. So what you need to do is remove that puzzle piece that is too hard, and of course it's too hard. You don't have the mental capacity to do it. Remove the puzzle piece so that someone else can slot in and do that for you. That's what coaching is for. Coaching is as useful as having a psychologist. If you've ever seen a psychologist for a few years and worked on your trauma, etc., it's so good for working through things, right? Coaching is just as valuable as outsourcing literally anything in your life that you are currently struggling to stay on top of. And that is the whole point. You don't need more guilt as to why you can't just get your shit together with your food and figure it out. You don't need more guilt as to why you can't just do yourself a plan and figure out your own meals. You don't need more guilt about why you can't stick to your exercise program or why you can't go for runs and things when maybe you don't even need to be doing that. You don't know what structure looks like, where it is feasible, doable, right, manageable, where you can slot it into your life like it just doesn't matter anymore, right? You won't even notice it because you're so busy having to figure it all out by yourself. And I know this, coming from someone who runs a business, I used to do things solo, right? It's just used to be me, just me. Trying to do everything myself did one of two things. It limited how much I could take on and how much my business could grow and how many people I could help, which was a bad thing because don't we want to help as many people as possible as coaches? Absolutely we do, right? You don't have to say no to people. Number two, it burnt me out. It made me feel horrible. I was doing all these tasks that I knew that someone else could probably do, but I also felt bad, guilt existed prior to having my daughter, about giving these to other people, right? The first step to acknowledge that you need help is knowing that needing help doesn't make you weak, it makes you stronger. Because with help and with support, like a village, like support with the postpartum journey, like having a newborn and having someone come over and go, hey, I'm going to take the baby while you wash your hair, right? That is so valuable to buy back your mental health, to buy back your mental capacity, to give you time and clarity so that you can show up for your family in a way that not only are you going to be not cranky because you're not having to think about fucking food, another thing to think about, right? But you're also going to be able to show up because you're now eating the foods that give you more energy. And being a part of a community, having things like a village, having things like our group chat, having things like a coach, having someone to bounce off of who is going to be there for you when you're having your hard days is literally like having a mum, but a really supportive mum. The mum that you need. And you might have your own mum, I get that, but your mum doesn't know stuff about nutrition. Your mum doesn't know stuff about wellness. Maybe she does. Maybe she's a PT. Maybe she's a nutritionist. But I'm that person. We are your people. We are the people who are going to be here to look after you. I always say this all the time. I look after mums while they look after everybody else. That is my job. And there are so many businesses, women in business who do the same. Massage therapists, hairdressers. We look after mums while mums look after everybody. Okay? Outsourcing your nutrition and your exercise and getting accountability, support, someone to hold you accountable, someone to answer to, someone who can encourage you and support you, right? And celebrate your wins and also tell you, hey, you don't have to worry about that. That's okay. So you can get out of your own head and keep going, right? And the expertise is in this area. That is a superpower. That is the hack. Any woman you see currently, any mum you see currently who's killing it, who looks really good, who's really healthy, who's lost heaps of weight, she has a coach. She has support. She has help. She is not alone. She's not isolated. She doesn't isolate herself and then think that she's a hero for doing that. You are not any more worthy or any better of a mum or any better of a woman if you try to keep doing everything by your fucking self, right? Because we know that that collapses. We know that that doesn't work. It's not sustainable. It's the structure that you need. It's the structure that you crave, and your kids need the structure as well. So why aren't you giving it to yourself? give yourself permission to be held accountable and to have that support. That's it from me. I'm going to finish up. My family are here, so that's my cue. But looking forward to doing another podcast for you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.